The Gospel according to St. John, chapter 9. Jesus restores the sight of a man born sightless by Dr. Christopher Oseodion Aburime. Beginning from verse 1. As Jesus proceeded, he saw a man who had been sightless from birth. His companions asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned here, the man or his parents, that he was born sightless?" Jesus replied, "Neither he nor his parents sinned. He was born sightless so that the wonderful works of God might be displayed in his being. As long as day lights, we must carry out the tasks of the one who sent me. Night is drawing nigh, when no one can toil. As long as I am here in the world, I am the light of the world." Then Jesus spat on the ground, made mud with the spittle, and treated the eyes of the sightless man. And Jesus said to him, "Go and wash in the pool of Siloam." Go and wash in the pool of Siloam. Siloam meaning a person who has been sent. So the man went, washed, and returned seeing. His neighbors and acquaintances who had seen him begging for alms in the past asked, "Isn't this the man, that beggar?" Some said, "Surely he is." Others said, "Certainly not. Certainly not. But he resembles the beggar." The man himself declared, "I am he." So they asked him, "Then how were your eyes healed?" He answered them, "The man called Jesus made mud and treated my eyes with it. He then ordered me to go to Siloam and wash. I went, washed, and received my sight." "Where is he now?" they demanded. "I have no idea," he replied. The man who had been sightless was brought to the Pharisees. Now Jesus had healed the man and made him receive his sight on a Sabbath day. The Pharisees questioned the man thoroughly how he had received his sight. And he told them, "He treated my eyes with mud, and I washed, and now I see." Then some Pharisees declared, "That man Jesus cannot be from God. He does not keep the Sabbath." But the others asked, "How can a sinner perform such wonderful signs?" And they were divided. Later the Pharisees spoke again to the man who had been sightless. "What have you to say about Jesus, now that he has healed your eyes?" And the man replied, "He is a prophet." The Jewish leaders still did not believe that he had been sightless and had obtained his sight from Jesus until they sent for the parents of the man. "Is this man your son?" the authorities queried. "Is this the man you say was born sightless? If so, how can he now see?" His parents replied, "We know that this man is our son, and that he was born sightless. But we don't know how he can see or who healed his eyes. Ask him, he is old enough. He can speak for himself." His parents spoke like this, afraid of the Jewish authorities, who had already decided to expel from the synagogue anyone who would acknowledge that Jesus was the Christ. That was why his parents said, "He is old enough, ask him." Again, the Jewish leaders summoned the man who was sightless and said to him, "Give glory to God, and be truthful, because we know that this man, Jesus, is a sinner. The man replied, whether he is a sinner or not, I really do not know. One thing, sure enough, I do know. I was sightless, but now I see. They asked him, what precisely did he do? How did he heal your eyes? He replied, I've told you already, but you wouldn't listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his followers yourselves? Then they hurled curses at him. It is you who are his follower. We are followers of Moses. We know that God spoke to Moses. But as for this man, Jesus, we have no idea where he comes from. The man said, now that is precisely what is pretty astonishing. You have no idea where he comes from, yet he healed my eyes. We know that God does not give heed to sinners. He gives heed to the pious who do his will. Ever since the beginning of events, it is unheard of for anyone to heal the eyes of a person born sightless. If this man, Jesus, were not from God, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. Infuriated, they replied, you were born in sin. How dare you lecture us? And they threw him out of the temple. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out of the temple, and when he met him, he said to him, do you believe in the Son of Man? The man answered, sir, please tell me who he is, so that I may believe in him. And Jesus said, you have now seen him. Verily, he is speaking to you. The man said, Lord, I believe. Lord, I believe. And he worshipped Jesus. Jesus said, I have come into this world for judgment. I have come into this world for judgment, so that the sightless will see, and those who see will become sightless. Hearing this, the Pharisees who were with Jesus asked, we are sightless, are we? And Jesus said, if you were sightless, you would not be guilty of evil. But now that you say we can see, your guilt remains.